High school teachers of Reddit, what's the most awkward position a student has ever put you in? A ninth grade student in my world history class came to my classroom after school to make up a quiz. She sat down across from my desk, and when I looked up I noticed that her shirt was unbuttoned almost completely down to her waist. She had a scarf on, so at a glance she just looked normal. But she definitely unbuttoned her shirt almost all the way down right before entering my classroom, alone. I honestly thought for a second that the school may have paid her to test how much integrity I had as a male teacher. It was uncomfortable. Edit, should have been more clear. School policy was to keep the door open when alone with any students regardless of gender, which it was. It was right after school, so there was still a lot of activity in the hallways. Her being in there with the door open wasn't out of the ordinary at all. The way she was sitting kept anyone in the hallway from seeing what she had done, which made it even more awkward. I just didn't look at her and acted like I didn't notice. She never did anything like that around me for the rest of the year.
My hand was resting on my thigh, nervously caressing a little box tucked away neatly in a corner of my pocket. My date for the evening was sitting on the other end of the table, animatedly talking on the phone. Well, not my date exactly. Chloe and I have been seeing each other for more than 5 years now, but this was where we first met, right here, by the patio of this cozy little cafe, on a blind date set up by friends. We had just returned from a movie, a whodunit mystery, and Chloe was going over the story with her mother, completely ruining all the suspense for her. Every time she updates her online status about a visit to the cinemas, you can be rest assured her friends will make themselves scarce for the next few hours at least. Subscribe for part 2.
People with uncommon allergies. What's a weird place you found your allergen, and what was the effects? I developed a respiratory allergy to paper. No clue to what exactly in it. Specialists said no real way to test it either. Had to drop out of university because they couldn't accommodate me well enough. Had to get rid of my extensive private library of fiction and nonfiction, including a ton of academic books, many of which ultimately ended up in the paper trash since no one was interested in them and I couldn't just keep them around. Had to switch from using paper notebooks to taking notes on laminated pages with non-permanent markers. Can't browse bookstores anymore. Basically, even entering someone else's house poses a risk, since I never know how much paper or how many books they have around, and whether I'll get an asthma attack or not. And if yes, how quickly I get a reaction. Also, half the time I mention it somewhere, I'm looked at as if I were inventing it just to inconvenience others or play the victim. So, people with uncommon allergies. Women of Reddit, what is your worst nice guy experience? I forgot my wallet while standing in line at the cafe. I ordered and realized my wallet was missing, so I said I'll just zip out to my car and pay when I get back. I was parked right outside. This guy behind me says he'll pay for my drink, and I tried insisting I would pay, but he pulled out cash and paid before I could really do anything. I said thank you and chatted while waiting for my drink. I was on my way somewhere, so as I'm leaving, he leaves too and asks if he can have my number. I was honest and said I was on my way to see my boyfriend. This guy just snaps, grabs my coffee, throws it across the street, and tells me I'm leading him on and I'm a bitch, and then he storms off. I just went to my car, got my wallet, and bought my own coffee. The owner saw the whole thing and told me he's now banned from the cafe. Apparently, he'd done similar things with other women, and this was the last straw. Women of Reddit.
I'm 14 and was at a family reunion with a bunch of my relatives. Me and a few of my cousins are hanging out in the jacuzzi, and my sister is there as well. We just are talking about life when my dad says that the burgers are ready. All my cousins and sisters get out for some food while I just stay in the jacuzzi for a while. One of my neighbors let his dog off the leash, so it immediately came over to me, and I just tried to get it away from me, and I eventually had to go back inside to avoid it. The adults of the family reunion said that they were going out to the club and hired some musical guests to entertain us. One of the people they hired was smoking hot, but she was 25 because I looked at her Wikipedia. I tell the others that I'm going to sneak out and go to the pet supplies store to get some accessories. While I'm there, I see this huge peacock that has these bright feathers, and I'm so mesmerized that I fall asleep. When I wake up, I'm getting head from a Target employee. And that's what happened. No